Writing responses to others' discussion is one of the important practice that we perform. This activity helps us to know how others are writing for the same task that is given to us. You try to read what others wrote for the given task. Then we start our response by appreciating the other's work. It is not a mandatory thing to give appreciation to the other's work, but usually we start with the appreciation statement. It is up to you to include appreciation statement or not, because most of you might have experiencing difficulty in what to write in a different way. If you want to write a response, how can we start it? Okay, if we start thank you for your discussion, or if you start explaining this was a nice post, nice discussion, it will become very common and there is a possibility of getting plagiarism. So if you want, you can avoid, that is fine. So second important thing is extending the participants discussion. Participants might have provided some good information, so whatever the points that are liked by you, or that you feel that for that point you can extend it and you can write some additional information in that, or like for that point you can add it. Usually, for example, if the person says that cloud computing provides several benefits to the businesses, and if you won't mention what are those several benefits, you can write it. If the person says cloud computing is a flexible technology, and if it is not elaborated, then we continue with some other point. You can discuss about how cloud computing is flexible. Okay, so this is what we call extending participants discussion. Because of the limitation of word limitation, the user might have written his or her discussion in simple format, so there you can extend it. This is one important practice that should be mandatorily performed by the researcher. Okay, people have to extend one point, at least 1 point. I say 1 point is enough, but if you want to add more words, you can add. Okay. Next one is adding extra research on discussion. So maybe if the person spoke about just 2 advantages of cloud computing, then you can write the third point by doing your own research. At least 1 point, one extra point of reference, extra point should be added in your responses. And finally, adding the reference. So just add at least one reference to your discussion, your response. Okay, at least one reference to your response. Okay, so make sure you add references to your response. Okay, how we can do that? Take this example. So if you can see, this contains complete comments here, and at the bottom researcher added the reference. So now while submitting the comment, we will be submitting this comment to one researcher and this comment will be submitted to another researcher. Then how can we use these references for both the people at a time? It is not possible, right? So it is recommended you people to write your references separately. So after generating these references, just cross check for which for this discussion, which reference is related. Okay, you just copy that reference. I'm copying it and just paste it here. Okay, and I can mark it reference. Now you can see that this response is having a specific reference for that, and for this response we have some specific references. Now you can see that your document consists of 2 different responses with respective references. So this is how we should add references to your responses. Understood, team? So consider this recommendation and make it a practice to write. Even if you don't write appreciation, it is very important to discuss some of the important points that are discussed, that are presented in the participants discussion, extend them. You should make sure that you write 1 point on that, and you, from the extra research, you will be adding 1 point for both. You can say 50 words and you can finish your response. Okay, so please make it a practice team. I want to see improvement in your responses. Thank you.